Welcome back, everybody, to Chasing the Rut, brought to you by the Wild Faith Podcast. My name is Evan Bungum, and tonight I've got an exciting guest for you. I have a local legend here in Minnesota. I've got Dylan Bungum, my first cousin on the line, and he is the big killer of gun season this year back at the home deer camp. He brought down a local legend. Dylan, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, cuz.
Heck yeah, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you on. Like I said, before we jumped on here and started recording that, we gotta nail down a time to do a full podcast. But I think I'm more excited to have you on this podcast, because if you're on this podcast, that means you killed something big.
Good stuff happened last week. Still pinching myself. Gonna have a mount on the wall here, hopefully in the next year. It's gonna look good.
Heck yeah, man. I hope it's a year. I do. I hope it's not
Fingers
like a
crossed.
year and a half or
I
longer.
asked Larry, or Jake, Larry's son, I'm like, how long do you think it's going to take? And he threw out July, but I think he was joshing me pretty good. It's going to be a hot minute, I think. So
that'd be pretty exciting. Well, so just kind of going into it a little bit here. So it was a fun deer camp, usually like every year, where we kind of get the whole family together, and we've got pretty much we're very blessed where we're at. We kind of have, I'd say, probably half the section kind of cornered off for family, which is pretty awesome. So every year we get a chance to kind of get everybody together, sharing deer camp stories and stuff. But it's not every year, though, that someone kills probably the biggest deer in a couple sections surrounding us. So I'm going to let you take it away. I'll do backstories on it later, but just kind of break down this hunt for us and just tell us kind of really your thoughts. Because, I mean, for you, I think this is probably your biggest buck that you probably ever shot.
For sure. I mean, I've been hunting my parents' land since we were little kids. My dad shot a really nice buck about 10, 12 years ago. When I was in high school, I scored around, the year. Was it 15 years ago?
15 years ago.
So you remember those moments like it was yesterday, right? Like when you relive it, look at the mount, the stories are all fresh. It feels like it was just, a hot minute ago. But I mean, when I left, for college, I missed a lot of hunting seasons right out of high school. And then being in the military, it just was tough to get back home for slug seasons. So there was a lot of years where I didn't even get in the stand at all, which was tough. So the fact being back in Minnesota, really enjoying being back in the grind of being in the stand, being one with nature, really enjoying the time. It's really important. So this particular hunt, how it went down was, we had a typical kind of Saturday morning, get out there early. I saw a small buck, looked like a 6-pointer that morning down by the creek. And I end up kicking myself later thinking like, man, if I don't see a deer at all this weekend, knowing that would probably be my only weekend getting out there, I'm going to be pretty bummed I didn't shoot at that buck. Fortunately, the story ended a little bit different than that. But in the morning, right as sun was coming up on Saturday, I saw a small 6, passed on it, figured, well, okay, this is a good start to the day. And then I didn't see nothing. And fortunately, we got these stands now that are very different from when I was a kid, where we just used to be out in the elements. Like my dad did a good job. He's got, as I call them, the porta potty stands. You got your windows on it. They come down. You got your heater in there. The chair is nothing special. I'm on like a Mills Fleet Farm, bucket with a 2-inch, pad on it. So it does the job. It spins around. You can see your shooting lanes. But the morning came and went, didn't see anything after that small 6. And then I come down to warm up, and my dad, he's walking down from his stand too, and we caught up in the yard, and he goes, hey, I got to show you something. So we walked around the CRP land over there, the grass, and he goes, I think there's a big one out here. He's like, I'll show you what I mean when you see it. And he goes, okay, you're going to see a bunch of rubs on this side of this tree line next to the CRP. And sure enough, like one after the next, like this rub. And he's like, this is not multiple deer. He's like, I think this is one big deer that wants everyone else to know this is his territory. And we're just watching it. And I'm like, holy buckets. Like, and they're high rubs, like high up on the tree, like really rubbed thick. And it got me excited. I'm like, okay, there's some monster out here that, at least if this isn't his home, he's coming back here pretty regularly to let people know, like, hey, this is my stomping grounds. So we felt rejuvenated after seeing that. Went back into the house, had some soup, warmed up, and then decided to get back at it around 12:30. And it was cold. It started to snow, I'd say around 1:30. Weren't hearing a lot of gunshots. But the cool thing about where we live, we can always hear like gunshots where you guys are at, or where Rudy's at, or Rob,
shot?
like someone's shooting. So we got our deer slayers text feed, going like, okay, well, anybody see anything? Anybody hear anything? Oh, I heard a shot. Was that one of you guys? But it went kind of quiet, and it's kind of funny looking back on it now, but like, Ren was hunting with my dad and Leaf was there. And we're like, anybody see anything? It's gone pretty quiet around here. And like, nope, pretty silent. And then come around 4 o'clock, it started to get cold, and you kind of figure like you see deer in the morning when the sun's coming up, and you see them right before dusk comes down. At least that's my experience, mostly hunting where we grew up hunting. So I'm like, all right, let's get ready. And then around 4 o'clock, I heard a gunshot. I think, come to find out, that was Eric took a shot at what is now what we're calling him, Babe. And he said it was a long shot. I didn't see his text though till afterwards. So it was kind of funny.
Which is probably a good thing. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Just like, hey, be ready at all times. But I'm sitting in the stand. It's cold. I'm in there since 12:30, till 4:15, and I'm on this little bucket, Mills Fleet Farm bucket, and I'm just like, butt's going numb. I need to stretch it out a little bit. I was on my knees for a hot minute, stretching it out, and then I had to stand up in the stand. And when you stand up in this stand, you can't see out the windows, so you're really exposing yourself. Like, well, you better make use of this time to stretch the back. So I was standing up for probably like, I don't know, a minute or so. And then I sit back down and I look to my left where I saw that small 6-point buck in the morning, because that's where I normally see the deer down there by that creek bed. See nothing again. I'm like, shoot. All right. And then I look to my right, and then there's this monster. I couldn't see exactly how big, so it's starting to get a little dark, but about 70 yards out in this clearing. And normally we do a pretty good job of clearing the brush out, so you have multiple shooting lanes. But this year, call it what you will, maybe we're a little bit lazy. There's only like one good lane out of this window that I was looking at, and wouldn't you know it, Babe is sitting there staring right at me. Yeah. Broad-chested, not to the side, so like the shot was pretty narrow, and he's 70 yards out, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, he's got to see me. He's staring right at me. My gun's not on my lap since I just sat down. So I haven't seen that stand yet. Did you guys like spray paint it, or is it? It's not a legitimate porta potty. It's like one of like the Fleet Farm like. Yeah, it's like legit Fleet Farm purchase. It's green.
I imagine you just sitting there in the blue porta potty.
Blue. I just opened the door, let her fling open. Like, hey, there's deer. No, but I grabbed the gun, and instinctively I know, like, okay, I'm gonna make a little bit of noise grabbing for it, so I gotta flip the the safety off. So I do that, and then I'm having it across my chest like this. He's still staring right at me, not moving. And this whole exchange probably happened over like maybe 20, 30 seconds max. But in my mind, it's like 5 minutes of like, oh my gosh, I'll never forgive myself if I don't get this gun like out the window to at least get a shot at this moose. So I get it out the window. I'm like, I'm going to go slow, get it out, point it at him. Then you have that panic moment of like, did I click the safety off, or is the safety still on? I'm like, dang, if I forgot to do that, that's going to make some noise here now that the gun's out the window. And I click for it, and I realize, okay, I already clicked the safety off. Let's get a beat on him. Let's aim, the best we can right for his internal organs, aim for the heart. And I just let it fire. And then, just call it luck, call it what you will. But I shot, and I saw him rear back, which meant I knew I hit him pretty good. And he just toppled over maybe 5 feet, and then was just down. And I just couldn't even believe it. And then I sent a text, to a deer slayer's text feed. And I'm like, I shot a buck. I think it was a nice one. And at this point, I don't realize how nice of a one it actually was, but I knew I could see some pretty decent antlers. So I'm like, all right, how long am I going to wait here? Like, I don't want to spook him, but I can see that he's still down about 70 yards away. My heart's beating like 200 beats a minute. I was telling my wife Tara that like I probably wasn't beating that hard like since the birth of our kids, or like when I was down on one knee proposing. I could tell it was a big deer.
Buck fever is a pretty substantial thing. You can't deny buck fever.
No. So I'm like, all right, I think about it. I'm like, well, I still see the deer's down. Like, I think I hit him pretty good. I'm going to go check this deer out. So I come down from the stand. We got just a ladder, strung up. I don't know if you've seen this stand yet, Evan, but it's like a ladder 20 feet up in the air. You got to climb up it, so you have to sling over my shoulder with the gun, and I get down and I go walking out to the deer, and I see him, I see the antlers, and I'm just like, let's go. Let's go. Couldn't believe it. And my phone is dying, as we speak. So I take a picture of it quick just to get a message out to the group. But my phone dies before the picture gets sent. And then my dad, his phone also died at the same time. So no one knows I shot this deer. And I'm like, how do I get the message out? Like, I don't want to run back to the house. But I was there for maybe like a minute. I looked at the deer. I'm like, well, the sun's going down. It'd be pretty cool to get a picture of this thing. Yeah. So I go back to the house. I tell my mom, like, hey, I shot a good buck. I need you to come take a couple pictures of me before the sun goes down.
So your mom got photo credit, huh?
My mom gets photo credit for the first pictures
Shout
of
out
Babe.
to Aunt Shelly. Look at that.
Yep. She did good too. She even got a video out there. It was classic. And then meanwhile, I'm charging my phone in the kitchen, right? So she gets the pictures, and then I get, from there I go back to the house. My phone's just charged barely enough to like send those pictures out, and that's when I got it to you guys, and they're like, hey, Babe is down. So pretty surreal. And then my dad sees me, like no one's coming up from our deer camp and like excited or knows anything about it. And they finally get to the house, and I'm like, did anybody see my text message? And they're like, no, my phone died. I'm like, well, let me go show you something. You come walking with me, and we'll go check out this buck down here in the front pasture.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that side of the story. We got so caught up in playing music right away we were celebrating.
Nobody knew. I'm like, I told my dad, I'm like, am I going to get any love here? He's like, what do you mean? I shot a buck. Like, let's go.
We'll go look at it. Yeah, no, that's exciting, man. That's I just remember, I think within the 5 minutes, I got a phone call from Eric, and he's like, just distraught. He's like, oh, I think I missed Babe. I'm like, for whatever reason, that night I decided to sit at Grove Dolls that night, and hindsight's 2020. Everything happened like you and I talked about. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, because it's like if you wouldn't have sat down in the time frame that you did, you wouldn't have.
I would have missed him,
and he would have been. And so, if people don't know, Babe. He went 158 inches as a mainframe 10-pointer mainframe 10-pointer. He has 3 small points, so he really is like a really just clean, beautiful Minnesota like monarch 10-pointer, huge mass. In spirit of him and you, I am going to change our cover photos that we normally have, and we will display your deer, because he deserves the homage of it. But this
you get
deer,
some great pictures of him too, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. And I haven't even got you the edited ones yet. But this deer we've been chasing for probably about 4 years. I mark him at about a 6.5-year-old is what my thoughts are. And in terms of size wise, he's, I think, technically bigger than your dad's, but score wise, your dad's scores more just
points on it.
He's got 2 more 10-inch tines. Like, that's what I was trying to describe to you. I'm like, man, you throw 20 more inches on this deer, he's a like absolute giant. And this deer, to me, it's like that's one of the most fun and exciting things of kind of having a conglomerate, or like we're very blessed to have our section of where we have, our deer are pretty much the same deer through and throughout. And it's been fun to see too. Like, I've got pictures from other people from Babe that he was 2.5 miles away from our entire section. And so it's like his home range was so diverse and big, where I only saw him on hoof twice, once with a bow, once with a gun, and that was it. And then I think I had maybe 10 to 12 daylight photos of him, and then maybe like another 100 photos of him at dark. And that's it.
He's a ghost, man. He showed up like a ghost too. I'm sitting there and like he's just there.
But he knew right where he was going to go, because after Eric missed him, he basically bolted straight southeast.
He covered some ground. Like, he must have gone 4 miles in like 15 minutes. Like, he was cruising.
Oh,
all the way across all those.
It's probably half a mile.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
But still, like, he was on a mission, got to the point, but once again, like, he stopped in the only freaking 5x5 window that you could have shot him in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't have a scope. I was telling you that. Like, I had my free sights on this 12
I'm glad you didn't even get a chance to think about. I'm glad you didn't even get a chance to think about it.
I would have been looking at the antlers and my heart would have like leapt out of my chest. Like, I just need to focus on the task at hand here, drop this deer. And yeah, it was
like,
exciting.
I think of the big one I shot last year. It was like one of those things that I had such a whirlwind of a roller coaster year last year where I, between wounding a giant buck, missing another buck, truck breaking down, just like at my wit's end on December 15th when I shot that deer. And
yours was a beauty last year too. That thing was a beast.
It was a great deer. It was my biggest deer. But like, same thing though. Like, I went into that hunt with zero expectations because I knew that I was going to be filming a pheasant hunt later that morning. And I was like, I'm going to shoot a doe. If a doe comes by me, and like, I had 3 seconds to react to that deer coming in. I had a scope, but I only had 3 seconds to shoot him. And I'm so thankful that I did, because if I would have sat there and looked at his rack, I probably would have shit my pants. So it was meant to be.
Yeah.
So
nothing like it though. When you see the deer come into your sights and you have an actual shot at him, like, holy buckets. What it kept going through my head is, if I don't get a shot at this buck, I will never forgive myself. Because 2 years prior, a big buck came through that same stand and he was in the brush where I didn't have a clean shot at him. And I was hoping he'd go into a clearing where I could get a shot off. And he never did. He ran down the fence line and I never got a shot at him. It could have been 2 years previously. So this time around, like, because of that failure, and I think if it wasn't Babe, Leaf ended up shooting him, I think, later on in that hunt, like the following weekend. Little bro got him. He never let me live that down either. But
walk me through, I mean, a little bit just of those first initial, like, feelings that you had. I mean, like, after you were able to make that shot, you seen that deer go on the ground. You really, at this point, you didn't know how big he was. Was there just like a sense of just relief that you got a deer? Because I mean, you talked about it a little bit before, and once again, I tell you every year, but thank you for your service. Like, you've been, I don't want to say it's unfortunate, because it's a blessing what you've been able to go through and accomplish throughout your entire life. So thank you for all that. But at the same time, you have had a lot of years kind of, I don't want to say taken, but like years that you have not been able to enjoy these finer things of life, So, I mean, like, is it just kind of bittersweet / full circle now, just to kind of have it where it's like, you got to be a part of a full deer camp. You got to kill a big buck. We got to celebrate like some of the best of the best.
All the wins. Yeah. I mean, years ago, like, it was probably a 10-year spell where between college or being, living in Minot, North Dakota, or living in Montana, where I just couldn't get back for a hunt. And now that I've been back in Minnesota about 4 years, it's just great to be back at it. There's nothing like being together with your buddies, with your family, friends, for deer camp. The camaraderie, it's honestly like, whether you shoot a big buck or someone else does, it's just 100% celebration. Whether it's a doe, whether it's a big buck, small buck, you're just grateful that you had the opportunity and the time.
I think that was the only deer we shot the entire weekend. That's
the craziest thing of it all. People ask me, who else got a deer? I'm like, honestly, I think it's just me so far. So
I think normally we shoot probably like, I would say like 3 or 4, but man, that weekend, those first 2 days really were just quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, super, super quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Meant to be, meant to happen. Dylan, I just want to tell you, thank you so much again for taking time out of your night. Once again, we will have you on for a full podcast, which I'm excited to have endless amounts of time to go through and just rehash memories that we had growing up as a kid. But super pumped for you. Couldn't have happened to a better person. Babe is, I mean, like I said, year of a lifetime, man. I hope you shoot a bigger one. I really do. But that is going to be an awesome.
I'm going to try. Yeah.
It's going to be an awesome memory for you to look at on your wall for really the end of time. So
for sure. Well, every time I look at it too, I'll remember us going in the barn and jamming out, playing guitar. Like,
heck yeah, man.
The best moments are when you showed up, and got to look at him. And when Eric did with Ethan, and then we're there just jamming and reflecting on all the other prior hunts and getting some good pictures of him. Like, those are the things you remember most when you think back on, big wins like this with deers.
And big bucks. It's like people forget, like, once you, like, I'm just trying to tell, like, that's a giant. Like, once you get to see a big deer like that, it's like, okay, that's how big they can get.
They're out there. So, it gives everyone hope. They're like, okay, I remember why we do this again. Like, these deer are out there and you can shoot them in your backyard, just like us. This is stomping ground where we grew up playing, Indians and robbers, Indians and cowboys, whatever. Like, that was those same woods. So to go full circle, and now we just appreciate it for what it is. And get the time to be one with nature and thank God for everything he's created, and then blessing you with an opportunity like that to shoot a lifetime buck. It's a pretty cool thing, and definitely full circle, like you said. I feel like it was tough to miss out on all those hunts for that many years, but coming back and being back with the fam, there's nothing quite like it.
Well deserved, man. Well, congratulations again. And Dylan, thanks so much for hopping on for Chase the Rut. And guys, we will catch you next week.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Ev.